I can't say the name of the insurance company that you were dealing with, but you can because you are the actual insured. So who were you insured with?
So that would be State Farm.
So what was your experience like with your claims process? And just the average person that may not understand, one, they pay for insurance. Or I'm sorry, they pay for roof coverage in their insurance, right? Mm-hmm. And majority of people do not understand this. They also don't understand the details within the language within that policy, that portion. They also don't understand that there's a separate deductible for that reason. So we get your home inspected. What happened first?
Well, before even that conversation, I mentioned to you, I'm like, yeah, we need to get a roof on our house, pretty soon. And you're like, well, hey,
that's right.
Insurance may be able to cover that. And I never even gave it a thought. Right. I'm like, really?
That's right.
And then you said,
actually,
well, let me come over and check it out and let's see what we can do. I might be able to, save you a few bucks. So that's kind of.
Yeah, so that's right. You were actually ready to pay out of pocket.
I was ready to pay out of pocket.
And I was ready to give you a really good price. But what's a better price than you not paying for it?
Right, and that's exactly right? What you said, too. And you're like, let's inspect it. So anyways, you gave it the inspection, and then we went to battle with the insurance company. And you let us know right up front. You said, listen, State Farm's pretty tough to deal with. They're not in a big hurry to issue money. So just bear with us. This isn't a done in a couple of weeks process. So if you're okay with that, let me show you what I can do. And very interesting that it took so long. I think we went through. Do we have 2 or 3 inspectors?
Separate adjusters and inspectors? Yes.
Yeah. And I'm one that I don't have a problem asking questions or arguing. Not that I like to argue, but sometimes you gotta raise your voice in order to get the point across. Sure. But yeah, they were not moving quick at all. And it was your due diligence, your consistency that kind of put you like, man, we're almost there. We're almost, just hang in there. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope it doesn't leak. And, it was kind of, man, is this guy for real? And I was thinking about you and I'm like, man, this guy's like, really going to bat for us. Like I was kind of blown away actually. And then you called us with the good word. But that process was first adjuster. They don't want to give you anything. Oh, there might be hail damage on this one shingle over here. Mm-hmm. Well, how can it be one when, it wasn't just one hail ball that fell from the sky,
Absolutely.
So.
No, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So we just wrapped it up. It was actually a year.
Yeah.
A year and a few days actually to date. So
you guys came over and you had the whole roof all chalked up and X marks and photos and
it was agony.
And you're like, listen, Steve, I'm telling you, I'm not bullshitting you. Like, I'm telling you, we're going to get this done. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's one thing about us, with Premier, we don't let up. If we see that, we see it's there. We see that the customer is being wronged. We're going to go to bat in every sense of the way. It's all about principle. Listen, if you're paying the premium, you owe for the replacement, and it's just kind of working through the right people. And you have to understand, I cannot literally fault State Farm in general. I can't specifically because one, they're a business. They have a business to run and they have checks and balances. Problem is that, in this market, first, it's very hard to find people to work, right? And then you put people in that are extremely experienced just to fill bodies because they have so many claims coming in. They need people to take care of it. So they may not be very experienced. They don't know what they're looking for. So they may bypass a lot of things that are extremely important. It does not put you in a good position though, right? So, and as long as we see that and we know that we have something to work with, we're going to keep pressing forward. And this was one that it was super slam dunk, super easy. It should have never taken as long as it did. But unfortunately, first couple people were just very uneducated in what they should have been looking for and looking at. The reporting, how they reported the data after talking to a couple of the inside adjusters and giving, our stance on why, it didn't constitute the repairs that they were calling for. They did finally agree, and I have to credit State Farm. They proved it. They took care of you, and that's the way it's supposed to be done. May have taken a little bit of time, but at the end of the day, that little bit of time, even in an investment sense, you're still way ahead.
Yeah.
And we were able to get the job done for you. And that was, can't believe that we missed that one because, man, that was the most prominent one that we just got done. And it directly affected you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I got firsthand experience with the whole process, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the home inspections that I deal with.
Yeah.
It's like across the board. Don't be afraid to ask questions and get into it. And you're already paying for the service. You're paying for the protection.
Absolutely.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I definitely appreciate you going to bat for us.
We were so happy to do it. And we're actually looking to install here, I think, pretty darn quick. I mean, we're right in the realm of it. Try to get you wrapped up before the end of the season and get that home protected. But I'm glad that, you trusted the process. And yes, it sounds very, I mean, we talk to people every day. They're like, yeah, it sounds like a scam. It doesn't sound real. And it's very real. I mean, we, on average, save customers up to $3-4 million a year in savings. It's no joke.
That's huge.
It's a really, really big deal.
I mentioned it to my neighbor as well, and that was exactly what, man, it kind of sounds a little fishy to me. And I'm like, you pay for insurance, right?
Yeah.
You have a clause in there for your roof, I'm assuming. Let them come on and inspect it.
So you're a realtor. That's an interesting topic because we're going to be bringing on somebody in their realm of insurance. So we're going to bring on an agent that deals with homes, properties, and what is insurable product and breaking down the language and the summaries in the pages. When's the last time you sat down with your policy and read it? You haven't, right?
I read the roof section.
Only because of the situation you were going through,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, but before that,
I mean, I think typically when somebody gets a policy, they're like, what's my deductible? What's my coverage if it floods? I mean, those are kind of
exactly
the basics,
I think that's the average way of thinking. As long as I can keep that rate low, I want to pay a whole lot a month, and I just want to make sure I have protection. Well, do you really understand what that word actually? I mean, protection is a pretty broad word across the sense of what is insurable. There's many aspects of that, right?
Yeah.
Floods, riders, deductibles, adjustable deductibles, fixed deductibles. I mean, there's so many aspects to it. And all you're considering is, as long as I can meet that monthly payment, I'm good.
Yeah. And that, absolutely. And if anybody out there needs a roof, you definitely need to get a hold of Keith at Premier Roofing.
I greatly appreciate that plug. That's nice. I like that.